The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Wednesday, the 16th day of August, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Metaquals and Lenders. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Good morning, Sister Sherry.
Good morning, Jamal.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have finally made it back to the United States of America, Atlanta, Georgia. It took a while.
Oh,
It really took a while. I left on Saturday and got here Monday morning.
yeah,
at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So it was quite a journey. Annoying, but okay. We've had to talk about customer service before. And so that was a concern for me, but actually customer service was pretty good and accommodating. But can't help weather, and the things that go along with it. But it was, and I just got my luggage yesterday.
Oh,
With some really, really fresh Bermuda fish in there. Really fresh.
it was still fresh when you got it?
It wasn't clean. It wasn't fresh and clean at all. Went straight in the trash.
Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it is what it is,
You know what? I guess my advice after this last month, not just you and I's experiences, but so many others that we know, is, folks, take a carry-on with all your essentials, because if you don't have a direct flight, prepare for an extreme delay. Prepare for a cancellation. Like, I'm talking about people who hit me up saying like the siblings and cousins. This has become the norm, it seems, in the travel industry. So I would say manage your expectations, because you don't want to be one of those people arguing in an airport security call because you can't get your way. Just manage your expectations. Understand if you have a connecting flight, even if you've got a 3-hour wait,
prepare. And the irony to it all, right, Jamal, is that this happened on my way over as well. I literally was supposed to fly in on a Friday, got there Saturday, went straight to Somerset Cricket Club. Like it has been a travel experience.
So Sherry, what's the lesson in all this?
Like you said, manage your expectations. Definitely. I would say the first time going over, I was kind of helter-skelter because I knew I had to be there for Saturday. I was carrying important equipment. I had to be there in person. So my anxiety was a little bit different. But then I was accommodated. On the way back, I still had a little anxiety. I had to see Beyonce on Monday. So I had to try, had to live. But I was actually a lot calmer, and so were they. And they were just very accommodating. So just like you said, manage expectations. Had I thought about it, I would have packed my makeup and certain things in my carry-on. So I wouldn't have to have pulled some things together for the show. But
yeah, folks, again, if you have any travel coming up and you've got connecting flights, manage your expectations. And greetings, everyone. Thanks for making this part of your daily routine. A good one today. We're going to discuss, unfortunately, we don't have a guest today, but we're going to discuss diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're going to discuss how you believe it should benefit Bermudians, all right? So it should be an interesting conversation. The Daily Play is music today.
Okay.
It's music. Did you
I,
get you got it last week?
I didn't get it last week. It was Michael Jackson's Earth Song, but I did watch when you gave Sancha some hints on James Baldwin, which I knew the answer. You was like, the name begins with a J and a B. And if you deny it, we can always run back the
No,
tape, but you did give a hint.
JB. Yeah, I said JB.
Yeah. So I
Um,
just want the same level.
you JB as well.
I want the same level of respect because now it's becoming disrespectful and blatant.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and I'm sure the audience can agree with that. That one host seems to be
Wow.
treated just.
I have
Maybe I need to go find about out this diversity, equity, inclusion. Do
Ooh.
we have that department with BGC for me to give me
Wow.
BCG? I gotta find out where they yeah. I
Mm,
gotta look into
I have
that.
favorites apparently. Not the first time I've heard that. Okay. Wow. Well, folks,
Well,
please.
I know who your favorite's gonna be today.
Who, Maya?
Go ahead, Jamal. Play
Oh,
this.
I'm sorry. I crack myself up. I love them all fairly and not equally, but fairly, folks. Fairly. Some need a bit more love than others. All right. So it's fair love
Finally.
going around. All right. Sherry got me sick. Like what Sancha said, that's because she was hugging too many people. Who told me hug people? I'm just
Well,
saying.
now you can't take it back, Jamal. That's the thing. Now you got to figure out who you have been hugging before, minus the ones that you didn't. So, but yeah.
Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com, and follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Charles just on the travel thing, he says, whenever possible, I take direct. Not sure why Delta isn't flying every day from Atlanta. So what days does it fly from Atlanta right now?
I think it's like a Sunday or it's only like 2 or 3 days a week. But let me just say that to Charles. Like, I definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
Delta's always been my first choice. I am a Delta girl, but Delta's prices
Mhm.
for that time period that I was going to be in Bermuda from the 28th to the 12th was crazy, was absolutely insane. So I had to take another, but at this point, shoot, might as well
Mm.
have
Might as well
taken
I'm taking it, right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I get you. I thought about that when I was stuck. I'm like, man, I should have just paid for the additional $400 because I'm not paying $500 for a hotel when I was stuck. But apparently Charles thinks there's some favoritism too. He said, I heard that too, Sherry. I instantly thought of you. I don't know what these troublemakers, but folks, let's jump into the conversation. A lot since George Floyd in 2020, there was a pandemic, and then there were numerous marches throughout the world regarding George Floyd, who was a black man who succumbed to his death at the hands of police, basically, at least according to the courts, right? According to the evidence that was presented to the courts in the United States, Minnesota, St. Paul to be exact, George Floyd was murdered.
Mm.
Out of that came marches the world over. There became protests. There became professional athletes in Europe and football in particular taking a knee. To this day, some professional leagues still do take a knee to stamp out racism. Well, many in the corporate world took another route and they pledged to focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Um, I'm not going to get into my love for black women, but black women were the main targets. Black women were being appointed the senior VP of DEI. They were being appointed head of DEI. They were being appointed chief diversity officer. We saw it happening, right? And companies started hiring more black people. This always made me uncomfortable, right? It always made me uncomfortable for various reasons. And I expect Maya and Sherry on this show to disagree with me with what some of the things I'm about to say. But there's nothing a white man loves more than using black women to pit against black men. Let me be clear. Diversity, equity, and inclusion hasn't benefited black women or black men. In my opinion, based on affirmative action stats and DEI, you know who it benefits most? White women.
Mm.
When you look at the Royal Gazette, on a daily basis and you see who's getting promotions and the like, who are they? You may see a little pepper sprinkled in every now and then, but who is it? So I want us to really think about this. The question again is, how do you believe diversity, equity, and inclusion should benefit Bermudians? And I'm not just talking about Black Bermudians, I'm talking about all Bermudians, because we need to have an honest conversation about what this even means.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What are our expectations? Because I tell you what, I said from the beginning, diversity, equity, and inclusion is a joke. To me, it's been a way of using the most liberal Black people to pit them against other Black people, right? Again, I'm going to repeat, use the most liberal-minded Black people to put them against Black people and almost bully them into a space of their thinking. That's one. The second thing is, hey, we've seen it done. When I was at the Bermuda Tourism Authority, we had a white CEO that was non-Bermudian. And the language they would use was, oh, we have a majority Bermudians, 90% Bermudians. No, they stopped short of saying Black, but that's what they meant. Here's the problem with that. We see time and time again, we see Black people in positions, we see Bermudians in positions, but they're never decision-making positions. You can walk across a boardroom of a majority Black company and see not one Black person in there. So again, I don't want us to be shy because, I saw Larry Scott, lawyer Larry Scott put something about white people drinking at cop match, having multiple beers. And first thing I saw is a white woman under his status, well-known white woman in Bermuda, say, why do we have to always bring race in this? Why are white people especially white women, so afraid to talk about race? You can't decide when it's okay to talk about race, when diversity, equity, and inclusion makes you feel comfortable. Because I say this from the most sincerest place possible. Just because we have a Black premier who's awful at his job doesn't mean racism in Bermuda no longer exists. We have a problem in our community, and we think that optics is solving the issues of our day. So again, audience, how do you believe diversity, equity, and inclusion should benefit Bermudians? That's your question this morning.
It definitely should benefit Bermudians in the sense of what we just discussed. We need to have more Bermudians in the rooms, sitting at the table, not just on the side, but at the head. Who knows Bermuda better than Bermudians, correct? No, I'm not just saying, as you spoke about friends and family, we're just putting somebody there just because. We need some knowledgeable people in that space. Diversity, equity, inclusion, I can't even get the word out properly, is what? Affirmative action, basically, all over again. And with that being said, we had, of course, a spike of excitement of doing that, of excitement of having that title. Now, 3 years later, are those people still in those same positions? Is the energy behind those things still occurring? And what benefits have we seen for Bermudians? Have we seen any? Because I don't think we necessarily have.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a rhetorical, but still not really. It's really a question. Have we really seen anything tangible come out of that? So how could it benefit us? It can benefit us by putting us at the table, qualified Bermudians at the table.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Sherry, because we did an Instagram poll yesterday, and bear with me, I'm going to bring it up because what you said is very interesting. So we asked, do you believe DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion, has benefited Bermudians? Here's the results of that poll so far. 55% said no. 45% said unsure. 0% have said yes. But my question is, if no one believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion has benefited Bermudians, Why are we all silent? Why are we not marching up and down? Why are we not loud and effective with our actions?
I would be interested to know how many companies in Bermuda actually have that as a title, and
You know
then
what?
go from there to find out what has been put in place from those particular persons in those positions.
Mm,
I'll be interested because is it two companies? Is it 10?
mm,
Is it like how many companies? Does government have a company have a section for that?
mm,
Do we not like because government, we have to be honest too, has also brought in so many consultants
mhm.
for departments and different positions as well. So how many companies have DEI?
Yeah.
Did I say it right? Yeah.
I think it's a valid question, and I think I like what you followed up with. How many companies have instituted diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, and then what has been the action? It's easy to create something, right? We've seen companies, and I read on this show previously that many companies since 2020 have not followed through on their promises, right? We shared that some months ago, but I just find it interesting how so many black people fell into it, accepted it. Remember, I stayed firm. Even when Bermudians were marching on Front Street, I call it the march to nowhere. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what's the point? What's the purpose?
Hmm.
What's the end goal here? And to this day, I don't have an answer. But see, you all call me grumpy. You say, oh, he's just miserable. Or he got no, I'm a realist. You all run around talking about being real. Nah, y'all are some confused folks. We are like, and I'm including myself in that because at the end of the day, I just get tired of trying to explain.
Well, when media plays a role in that, right? So we get all excited and we want to jump on board. We want it to happen. But just like for anything, especially in Bermuda, the steam always runs out. And it's where is this consistency? We talk about lifestyle changes. The only way this can happen if you are remain consistent and know what the end goal is. But like I said, I would love for that question to be answered. How many companies in Bermuda have DEI?
Let's go to the audience. How do you believe diversity, equity, and inclusion should benefit Bermudians? How do you believe it should benefit Bermudians? Kathy Allboy says, this has always been the narrative. When do we stop? I heard the snip of an interview this week of Bermudian women downing black men. So sad, I would like to have a conversation with them. All right, I wasn't going to touch on it, but I will. I was not going to, but I'm going to read what I said to the Daily Hour crew. Let me find what I said to. So you guys don't mind me sharing what I said to you privately, do you? No,
It's your comments.
my comment.
You don't you don't need to speak on mine though. I don't give you permission.
Okay,
Just
no,
joking.
sure. I no, and no, you're right. So this is what I said to the Daily Hour crew. Give me 2 seconds, folks, because well, the first thing is regarding the comments that were made by those two black women, one who is the CEO of the BTA, the other who I believe actually does diversity, equity, and inclusion by title. That's her title. Um,
Mm.
I said, despite what their experiences may be, it's actually dangerous and ignorant and falls in line with everything that is white supremacy. So, what I said to the TDH crew is I'll say this much. I know I'm rough around the edges, but I'm a work in progress. I completely understand that people's perceptions are likely based on lived experiences. I mean, I've had only white women bosses for the most part. They've been great. But I would never, ever publicly say that white women have done more for me or make me feel more comfortable. For one, it's simply not true. And also, I was raised by black women. I have all sisters, 3 sisters. My business partners are black women. Black women are the backbone of this show, The Daily Hour. And I love a black woman. At no point would I ever put anyone or anything above black women. Not now, not ever, regardless of how bad of an experience I've had with a black woman here or there. So that
I
was
was
my.
just, and I was to say, let me add to your comment, Jamal, because you and I excuse me, have often had conversations off air in regards to work situations, right? And it goes to what you said. You said, your bosses have been great, but you've also been in uncomfortable positions
Mhm.
yourself where you've had to fight and be passionate about what it is that you believe in. Thank goodness they have heard you and been accommodating in some of those things, and sometimes they haven't.
Mhm.
But at the same token, it's still been, definitely something that you've had to fight for
No, no,
in
Sharon,
regards to respect.
let me be clear. And I'm glad you said that. Let me be clear. I don't think these white women saw me as more than what they see me as, a
Hmm.
black entry-level employee. This company exists because of a black woman who is not a part of it, but literally has supported in every way possible. Like for me to make a comment, like I've had bad experiences with black women. Sherry, y'all, woman, you've had bad experiences with black women. But at
Yeah.
no point will I say, even though I've probably had more bad experiences with black women than any other group, that's not representative of all black women to me.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because I love black women, obviously I've been rejected by my fair share. So that's not going to reflect. Like I would never publicly say black women are such and such, and then in the same sentence, big up, massa. It's dangerous. It's ignorant. It's it's just ridiculous rhetoric.
Hmm. And
Um,
so let me ask you this question.
we're gonna go to the audience, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was to say, let me ask you this question. So is it fair to say that their experience isn't true, or is it fair to say that that comment just shouldn't have been made?
No, I think their experience is theirs. I don't. I think it's very true. And that's why
Hmm.
I said in there. I'm not negating their experience. That's their
Hmm.
experience. Like I said, I have similar experiences with black women. What I won't do, and I repeat, I would never publicly say that black women, I've been treated more favorable by white women than I have black women. Because deep down, I know that the black women who have had patience with me, supported me, and loved me outweigh the negative experiences with the black women I've had them with.
Gotcha.
You feel me? So for me, I'm not going to say that her experience is wrong or didn't happen or it's not her reality. What I will say is maybe you were in spaces that you probably didn't encounter black men who would be supportive of you and help you and whatnot. But in the same, lady, let me say this much. There was some racist white man that loved using black women, sitting back, sipping their whiskey, smiling. Here we go. We got another one on our side. Because there's nothing they love more than seeing black women pitted against black men. I don't like that. It's not
Mm.
something that I'm going to favor. So I want to get back to the conversation. We've got to bring Maya in. So let me just go through these comments before we bring Maya in, and we'll get back to it. So Charles H. Jaffe says, in my opinion, DEI isn't just about hiring people of color. It's about hiring people of color in decision-making positions, ensuring hiring panels are diverse, and ensuring your company's spending is also diverse. I'll take it a step further. I don't think it's about hiring people of color at any level. It's about hiring diversity of thought. I've seen many black people be hired in positions and change nothing for their community. Inspire, empower, nothing for their community. Nothing. We need the right black people who are willing to go in there, shake things up. However, we shouldn't expect that. What we should be doing is building our own spaces where our people can thrive. Because it's been shown to us the only black people that they're willing to let in those spaces are those who are not a threat to what they're comfortable with. Let's be clear.
And what about the right Bermudians though? And I know that's part of the question. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it takes the right Bermudian. But again, when you see things like, well, it's not just about degrees and intellect, it's about fitting the culture. Sometimes fitting the culture means someone that's going to come in and help things stay as they are. Somebody that's not going to rock the boat. Someone that's not going to try to change things so that there is true fairness and equity. So seeing Black people in positions does nothing for me. Seeing Black people in positions who actually do something for their community to move their community forward, that's what I love to see. Unfortunately, there's a few and far between, because a lot of Black people who get in those positions, they have to pay their mortgage. They have to pay their bills. And I'm fine with this. Amanda Blakeney says, FYI, U.S. Supreme Court just overturned affirmative action this summer. Okay. It benefited white women more than Black people anyway. Folks, the lessons in diversity, equity, and inclusion for me is, if we've been given so many signals to wake our asses up that we've ignored. Wake up, start supporting and building our own. If not, we're going to be crying and fighting to be in spaces where they don't want you and just see you as what you are. That's it. Yeah. I want to say, Teray told, she's saying, what Black man said? No Black man said it, Teray. It was two Black women, the CEO of the Bermuda Tourism Authority and a young lady, Keynes, who has a podcast. There's a video that was going around yesterday, and that's what Kathy Oldboy was referring to in her comment right here. Real quickly, I'll go through this comment before we bring Maya in. Oh, this is a long one, can't read that, but I'll put it on screen. Lorette Simmons says, what I see, we have our own Bermudian human resource management hire foreign over us, and they really have the power, but they can't see it. It's said, why have a position in power if your own island and you progress them, not your own? Sorry, I'm just reading as it says. This I see over and over. Then I get the redundant. Then the apple starts with foreign workers. So if they basically, all she's saying is there's HR people who are making decisions not in the best interest of Bermudians. And when it comes to redundancy and people letting go, it's always the Bermudian. Here's the thing where I disagree with Ms. Lorette Simmons. HR people don't have the power. Remember what I said. These companies will appoint a person of color, which I hate that term. They will appoint Black people simply for optics. And they appoint Black people who are not a threat to their system or culture. So that's why you're not going to see the change. If we want to see change in the professional space for us, then we need some warriors in there. We need some outright business people who have strong personalities, who are going to bring about the changes that are going to give Black people the opportunity to succeed in those spaces. The other option is entrepreneurship, but that will require something easy that our community makes so hard. And you know what that is? Supporting one another. Let's bring Maya in for the Daily Hour News break. We'll continue this conversation. Don't go anywhere, because I'm not done. Got a lot more to say on this.
Good morning, good morning.
Well, how you doing, Sister Maya?
No complaints over this side.
Oh.
Got back okay? Any flight issues?
Not at all. I'm feeling good this morning.
Yeah, feeling good this morning. You had any diversity, equity, and inclusion commentary you want to add?
I'm just going to say this one thing, because that you touched on a little bit, Jamal, about, what actually possibly needs to be done, like us putting our own, people in spaces, or just doing things on our own without having to worry about or think that someone else should be doing it versus us, and waiting for opportunities. I guess that's the way I want to look at it, because if you look at like when Pigsfield got burnt down, who took control of that? It was the people. It was the community who took control of that and getting that back up. Patrina O'Connor and the rest of everyone in that community who helped to really build this and bring it back together. They didn't wait on government. They didn't wait on anyone. They got it done. So in that same sense, we shouldn't be waiting to be given these positions that we know that we deserve. We should be making spaces for ourselves. And we shouldn't be, again, waiting for someone to tell us that we're finally good for it when we know that we are. We've been good for it for years. And I don't necessarily, this is my Plus's opinion, the diversity, inclusion stuff, like it's It's a 50-50 for me, as some people may have also stated too, because I think it brings light to the conversation and discussion and gives us more insight as to what we need to do further and what actually works. But I won't say that it's the end all goal. No way. It's not.
No, I agree. I agree. I think Maya, you summed it up better than I ever could. It's that it simply isn't. We have DEI now. We can relax.
Mm.
This should actually be a first step to something. And I know, when we've spoken about DEI on the show before, some people feel it's disrespectful. Honestly, folks, at this point, if the truth offends you, I can apologize in that respect. If you are in a position, a DEI position, I really hope that you have the courage and the spirit to fight. And when I say fight, we love to quote Dr. King around his birthday and put up pretty pictures. But Dr. King said something I live by. We ain't like, what's the quote? Basically, we unless we find something worth dying for, we ain't really living a life of purpose, really. And the truth is, so many of us are afraid of consequences. We're afraid to lose that job, regardless of how that job treats us now. That job could treat us like crap. That job can literally, well, either you come in or you don't. Like they literally control you. But it's your choice to keep going. It's your choice to fight. I'm sorry, but I'm not afraid to lose a job. My conscience will not allow me to do what's not in my best interest. That's me. I don't expect that of everyone else. But what I will say, imagine if we all had that kind of feeling and fuel. We don't understand our consumer power. We don't understand our academic power, and we don't understand our professional power. Sam Cooke said a change is going to come. Well, we're still waiting. It ain't coming unless we decide that we actually want to go. I'm done.
There's so much I want to say in my head right now, but I'll try to keep it to myself. Good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Thank you for tapping in with us this morning. Starting early on this news break, you may have heard about it, but the public is invited to tune into the latest edition of This Week in Government, which is a bunch of interviews that the government puts out with, former or past people who worked in the ministry, just to get the community to kind of understand the woes of what these people went through while they were in these different government positions. If you didn't know about it, that's what it is. So in an extensive 30-minute discussion, Dr. Binns talked about his nearly 40-year career in government, his views on the significance of Bermuda's public service, overseeing public offices during the pandemic, the importance of attracting new talent into government, and his hope for the future of the public service in Bermuda. Now, you can find this on CITV's YouTube or the government Facebook page. Here's a quick slip of the interview that he did actually with Do I Try. So here's a little preview. You guys can
can you reflect on the most important things about the public service and about public officers?
I think we are a highly misunderstood and highly maligned group of people. Currently, and for some time, there has been a number of commentators who would like to see us as evil, lazy, good-for-nothing people. That is far from the truth. I'm not suggesting that we are all spotless angels by any means, and just like any organization, we have those who do not reflect the best upon us. But we are, by and large, a group of people who are highly committed to what we do. We are here because we want to be of service. We are here because we believe in the work that we do, and we work diligently. People who are exceptionally committed to what they do. All you need to do is drive by a government building in the evening and see the lights that are still burning. They're not just on because people forgot to turn them on. People are there working. An emergency happens. Who's the first to respond? It's going to be public officers responding. And they're doing it because, one, yes, it's their job, but they also are committed to what they do. So there are some highly professional, well-trained, very well-committed persons who make up the backbone of the public service. And for that reason, I will continue to champion them.
You know, I want to say this. I hear Dr. Benz, and I've always been protective. I've never really truly been a civil servant, maybe for like a year and a half, right? But I've always had a soft spot because I think they've been dealt a tough hand. And what I mean by that is it seems they're a reflection of whoever the government of the day is, right? And they're not politicians. They're not those people. However, personal experiences also create the kind of attitude towards them. So people who are trying to get the passports and they're having a hard time with people in the civil service, public service, whatever you call it, through getting their passports done. You have people who may have had bad experiences with the court arbitrators. You have people who have had experiences with TCD. So I think, while I understand them, and I still am very protective because there's a lot of hardworking people in government. I think there's a lot of people who've been left a bad taste in their mouth because of the lack of customer service and the lack of attention and what they deem laziness to what they wanted to get done. So it's yeah, I see both sides now.
Yeah. And if you want to obviously watch more, it's a 30-minute interview. You can go ahead and continue watching the whole thing on Dr. Derek Benz. If you ever had any qualms or even just interest in what actually happens with people who work in public service. So there's that for you. Coming up next in the news, heavy highway construction asphalt training program. If you haven't heard about it, now you will. The Ministry of Education, Labor is pleased to announce the successful completion of the Heavy Highway Construction Asphalt Training Program, a collaborative effort with the Joel's Asphalt Service and Maintenance Limited and Urban Construction. The comprehensive training initiative has equipped 7 young Bermudian men with industry standard National Center for Construction Education and Research credentials, making a significant milestone in Bermuda's commitment to fostering a skilled and capable workforce. Is coming from the Ministry of Labor. Over the course of 2 months, participants engaged in a variety of learning activities, including classroom theory sessions, in-person study groups, self-study, journal writing, initiatives, lectures, quizzes, and a lot more. The program was specifically designed to cater to individuals with diverse entry points, including high school graduates with minimal exposure and experience, unemployed individuals, and underemployed candidates. Public and private sector industry partners are working collaboratively to secure paid work placements and employment opportunities for these trained individuals across small, medium, and large businesses within the construction industry.
Well, I mean, we need the roads paved, so I mean, they're filling the need there, huh?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They definitely are.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
So we mentioned this on the show before, and I believe we have some people in the audience who actually may have nieces or nephews who are in this program. But the Skills Craft program just completed. Here are your graduates there in the photo. And a little bit about the program. Again, 15 young interns were paired with 15 local organizations to assist with social media content planning and creation. The interns received instruction and coaching throughout the program to enhance their social media marketing knowledge. At the end of the program, the interns presented their work to their mentors from the host organizations. Also in attendance were representatives from the Santo Bermuda Foundation, Cedar Bridge Academy, the Barclay Institute, Ignite Bermuda, Digicel, and the Clarity Institute. Santo Bermuda Foundation Economic Participation Committee supported the program with a grant of $107,000 to fund the Skillcraft Youth Internship Program. As you can see, the interns there and their names at the bottom there. Each of those interns were paired with different types of organizations throughout the island, like the Mirrors Program or Ad Astro or the Bermuda National Trust, and more on. The director of the program said our interns have shown significant growth in their knowledge of social media and confidence in creating relevant, engaging content for their hosts.
I really hope that these young people doing these programs really use them as a stepping stone to something else. I was just going through my storage the other day and found all these certifications that I had, and I'm just not interested in doing anymore right now. I simply go on YouTube, teach myself stuff. I'm lying, because if we go to the broadcasting conference next year, I may want to do something. If you guys do something, I may encourage us, but I'm just not. I've done so many things, and I don't see where I've been rewarded. You get me? I'm just well, I'm still seen as just what you see me as, because I don't necessarily fit your culture, because I want to bring about equity. Yeah.
Well, Jamal, aren't you using those certificates though for what you're doing right now with the Daily Hour? could that be a point? You didn't wait for anyone to give you the opportunity to use those. Like I mentioned before, you're using them now for yourself.
Yeah, but you all don't like me, so I do. we can't hurt Sherry, thankfully, but you all don't like me.
Well, no, this is what I was saying over in my mind. I was like, Maya,
We
really?
literally just talked about this.
If you guys like me, then I would say it's working. But nah, you beat me up on this side. But no, Maya's great point. Like she's got a point.
Yeah.
And the truth is, and I'm glad you said that and put me on the spot. Everything that we do here, everything that I do with my business partners is things I've tried to do with companies I've worked with prior. So the point there, folks, is if you try to push for changes and you're not allowed to do it, and you just go and create a space where you can, and the rewards will come in that space. So it actually goes back to what I said. Instead of us crying for progress in other spaces, create your own, build your own, and do it with people you trust and share the same like vision and passion as you to get to that space, and work ethic.
Exactly. And congratulations to these up, because I know a lot of people at my age, around my generation, who have been taking on like the social media for different types of clientele and businesses in Bermuda. Like I know so many of my friends that do it. I do it as well. And it's just like we taught ourselves because no one knew, and we didn't have this type of program. This is the second year that it's going up, and couples been doing it for like 5, 7, 8 years. So to have this for them at this age is brilliant, and they'll be able to be even better at my age when they're doing it for other companies or doing it for their own company. So congratulations to them, and big up to the program.
Indeed.
Yes. Next on your docket this morning, in the sports-related news, the Bermuda football under-14 girls national team head coach Don Vickers has named the 20 players who will represent Bermuda in Antigua and Barbuda for the 2023 CFU Girls Under-14 Challenger Series. Here is your selected team right there. There's 20 of them, but there's, I believe, other starting players. The tournament will see the 20 teams divided into 2 tiers, with 14 national teams from around the Caribbean competing in Tier 2. 6 teams will battle in Tier 1 for the coveted Challengers Series trophy. This year's CFU Under-14 Challenge Series will be a great opportunity, says Vickers, for the young ladies, as this will be one of their first international level games. So he's hoping to see what they can bring out for Bermuda. Bermuda has drawn in Group B, which is a Tier 2 group that will face against the tournament's hosts, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, and Bonaire.
I love this. I love that young ladies are getting chances at those ages, because I know that the Women's Football League went away for years in Bermuda, came back last year. So I'm encouraged by it, because look, football is not just a way out. Sports is not a way out for men and boys. It could be a way out for young ladies as well. And there are a lot of opportunities opening up. Currently, again, the only World Cup I've ever been to is the Women's World Cup. It's going on right now. Unfortunately, brother's on a budget, so I haven't been able to afford to watch any games, but I do follow online. So looks like England and England's playing in the semi-final tomorrow. Not Sweden. Australia. Australia. So I was for Nigeria, but England stamped them out. But anyway, just saying, I like to see this, and I hope that we support these young ladies the way we support the Gold Cup team some years ago.
And our young ladies are on a mission to get into the Gold Cup as well. So like wishing them seriously a lot of luck and a lot of good work, because they've been fighting hard. The women's football team have really been getting up there for quite a number of years. Like I did my interview with Coach Nikita. It's been a journey. It's been a lot of sacrifices in order to get the amount of players that we now have, where they have the chance to actually pick the best and not just settle for the numbers that they have. So it's a real pleasant, like good place to be for Bermuda football. Coming into the weather now for your news break. Mix of sun and clouds with 1 or 2 morning showers. I feel like I say this every single day now, so I'm sorry that you guys have to hear it, but it's a high of 88 degrees Fahrenheit, so 1 less from yesterday, but you're still going to feel that humidity and heat.
Listen, the one thing that I was happy to get away from returning to Georgia was the humidity in Bermuda. Oh my God.
I ain't escape it. I'm out there juggling 100% humidity Monday morning and this morning. It's like, what am I really doing? Like, this is not how life's supposed to be.
It's crazy.
Yeah, real quick update. Looks like Narette Simmons says England 3, Australia 1. Oh boy, that means we're gonna have to hear that damn song. It's coming home. That's what the English think they created football, by the way. So that's what they'll say.
Okay.
They technically did, but we don't like to say that. But what days of the year for us, Sherry?
Well, ironically, today is Independent Worker Day. This day is to honor freelancers, independent contractors, small business owners, and others who have decided to work independently. We live in a society where traditional full-time occupations are the norm, yet the modern workplace is evolving and there's a growing change in the nature of work. The contributions of independent workers should be recognized. So recognize you, Jamel, recognize you, Maya, and how about in the audience? If you work independently, let us know.
Indeed. I mean, I'm gonna give it up because everybody part of this show is independent contractor, people who never thought they would have done it. It's a freedom and a peace that you just it's enjoyable. I think Maya and Sancha more than anybody like probably go the hardest out of all of us. And like Maya, what would you say to anyone? Because I remember she don't mind me saying it. We had a conversation in Vegas, you and I was just like, I wasn't confused, but I had to ask Maya. I sat down, I was like, Maya, where does your desire, your inspiration come from? And she kind of shared with me, but like, what would you say to someone who might want to go that route of, the space that you are quite successful in, but they're afraid?
Like going just the route of being independent or journalist?
Independent contractor.
Okay. I would say kind of like what I was thinking about this whole entire show, honestly, from the start of it and what we were talking about. It's just, man, life is really that short. And my ancestors went through so much for my life to still be here. Like, that's what goes through my mind a lot. Like, they went through hell. They survived. I'm here. And I couldn't imagine myself doing something that I hated, being in a place that made me feel like crap, to be honest, or just giving up all my days and all my hours to somebody else. But I'm free. I'm a free person. And even though I know that's not always, something that everyone can do, I knew that in my life, where I'm at right now, as a 26-year-old young Black woman, finished my education, I have no debt, had no kids. So I'm just like, I need to make some risk. I need to take some chances. This is where I'm at right now. And not saying that people who don't have the exact same alignment as me can't, but that's what I needed for myself, to wake myself up and be like, I should be taking a lot more chances than what I'm doing right now. And I should be going down a path that makes me feel like I'm honoring those before me. So yeah, that's what goes through in my mind.
Awesome.
I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. And thank you for what you do, because you're inspiring even those who, older than you that have been around to say, you know what am I doing? Why am I not taking these risks? Why am I not putting myself in a better space? One of the key things she says, no debt, folks. Hey, when you could get to a place of not having debt, the freedom that you then have to do what she's doing. Maya, have a great day. We're going to continue. Let me come back. Do not go anywhere. We're going to continue the DEI conversation. Maya Palacio there, folks. If you appreciated the conversation so far in the news break, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Let's get back to the question. Earlier, we were asking, how do you believe diversity, equity, and inclusion should benefit Bermudians? I want to go to this comment by Manuela John. She says, individuals who have been given a position as a result of DEI may only be put there because they are known to follow the agenda of the decision makers. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why we need, so look, let me say this. We need to be very careful when we see in job descriptions things like mention the culture, right? Like we're all about the right fit. When we see things like that, when they say things like that, the right fit and adapt into their culture means status quo. If you're about true change, driving change, you need to bring people in who are going to shift things up and lead you that way. No organization is really going to do that.
Yeah.
We need to be honest with ourselves. And I don't think we are. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, I'm not quite sure as an employer, employee, I guess the term professional, I'm not quite sure we've seen the collective results since 2020 when it became trendy. I just don't see it. Audience, have you seen it? Like, again, has it improved? We showed you the poll. Well, we didn't show it to you. You could go Instagram story. But we told you what the poll results were on our Instagram story. Let me just go back, Sherry. So the question was,
which was crazy.
The question was, do you believe diversity, equity, and inclusion has benefited Bermudians? And 52% said no, it's updated. 48% unsure. 0% have said yes.
That's scary, Jamal. That even the visual, you may not even know exactly, but even what is being put out there or the visual of anything, we can't see it. You know what I mean? So that poll is very telling and very scary at the same time, because if we cannot even see it out there, then that's even more of a problem.
Yeah. Folks, do us a favor. Please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please share this link. This is a very important conversation, diversity, equity, and inclusion. A lot of us are unhappy. A lot of us want change. The more people you get on board with a conversation like this, the more we should be inspired and empowered to collectively work together to bring about the change that's needed for each and every one of us. We're going to take a final break, come back, wrap it up, and, well, we're going to do the daily play as well.
Ordering from ER Fisheries has just gotten simpler. With just a few clicks of a button, you can place an order for next-day delivery or same-day pickup. Our ever-expanding list of offerings now include grocery pantry items, specialty meats, and bread and dairy items. We know things have been hard, and we're here to make planning for your next meal or party easy. Whether you're a vegetarian or a meat eater, we have what you're looking for. And best of all, it can be delivered to your door in 24 hours or less. Go to www.erfisheries.bm and check out our wide range of seafood, beef, lamb, pork, poultry, fruits, vegetables, and plant-based products, all available at reasonable prices. That's www.erfisheries.bm.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again to BAC Group Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can have these discussions and conversations on a daily basis. Folks, if you appreciated today's conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, it's music today. Help her out, folks. Help her out.
No, you help me.
Okay. I don't think you'll need help. You got this because I believe in you. You don't need a hint. All right, here we go. If Nas and Lauryn Hill ruled the world, what would they do?
If I rule, I'll free all my sons. That is my song then.
She got it first. She didn't need a hint.
That's me and my friend Keisha Bridges' favorite song.
Yeah, so if Nas and Lauryn Hill ruled the world, they would free all their sons, folks. All right?
I love it, baby.
Black diamonds and pearls.
Could it be? Could it be?
I rule the world. I'm sorry, we doing our little rap. Doing our little rap action. But see, Ebony got it too. That's right. That's right. Hey,
Ebony seems to be on it.
It's timely though, because we need to free our sons. We need to free ourselves. We need to free ourselves from the shackles of believing. We need others. The truth is, we need each other.
Yeah.
We need each other. We need to support one another. But let's wrap it up. Final thoughts on the DEI conversation, Sherry.
The question is, how does it benefit Bermudians? And we've yet to see it just yet. Right. I do hate that we all get on these waves and these trains about all of these new things that come about, and then we don't see anything as the end result. I still pose the question, how many companies and Bermuda's organizations and so forth have DEI as part of their regime, scheme, whatever you want to call it? And what are the results? What actions have been put in place? I really want someone to answer that so we can give an honest opinion on how it benefits us or not. And at the point that we are right now, we don't see it as a benefit.
Yeah.
So I just want us to follow through with what we say and do what we say we're going to do. And we just need Bermudians at the table, at the head of the table, and be qualified Bermudians.
And I'll end it like this. I hear Sherry, I heard Charles about Black people and Bermudians. I think we need the right people. And I am not sure that you can convince me or the majority that we don't have the right Bermudians with the intellectual capacity, the spirit of our ancestors to fight and deliver better for our community. And if we can't get those kind of people in those spaces, then it's time for us to have the courage to build our own.
Mm-hmm.
We must do better for ourselves. It's not working out the way it is.
Yeah.
There is a better way. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, from the naked eye, it doesn't look like it's benefiting us. Yes, we see a Bermudian in this position. Yes, we see a Black person in that position. But what have they been able to implement that's really driving cultural change, that's going to create a fair and equitable system for all people? The way I feel, based on what I see, it looks like we're bringing in faces in spaces for optics to help things remain as they are, but look to appear as they aren't. That's what DEI feels like and looks like to me. Sherry, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. The daily inspiration is being brought to you by ER Fisheries and Foods. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength, and mastering yourself is true power. If you realize that you have enough, you are truly rich. Leo Tess, did I say that right?
I don't know, but I like that.
Yeah. It's timely. It's interesting how things are spoken through me too. Yeah, it's interesting.
I like that one. Yeah. Well, folks, Please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we will be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.